Today, we're diving into something that is a massive landmark in cybersecurity, and honestly, not in a good way. We're talking about XenWare, the first ever ransomware that's been verified as being completely generated by AI. So let's break down what that actually means.
This is a question that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's not science fiction anymore. It's a very real, very present danger. The question isn't theoretical, because the answer is already here. Just try to imagine a piece of malware that is so good at its job, it can just slip right past the very tools we built to protect ourselves. It operates with a kind of ruthless efficiency that we just haven't really seen before.
And that right there is the piece of the puzzle that changes everything. The malicious thinking, the encryption, the whole attack plan, all of it was drummed up and coded by an artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks and really break down what we're dealing with. This is the anatomy of XenWare. At its heart, XenWare is an incredibly powerful type of ransomware. Its mission is simple. Get in, lock up your files as fast as possible, and make them so secure that getting them back without the attacker's key is basically impossible. So what makes XenWare so dangerous? It's not just one thing, it's this perfect storm of features. First, it is ridiculously fast. It uses something called multi-threading to chew through and encrypt files on multiple drives all at once. It also uses this really powerful two-layer encryption method, which we'll get into in a second. And of course, the big one, the fact that it was entirely generated by AI is what allowed it to be so sneaky. 100%. I mean, just let that sink in. Before its code was released for everyone to see, XenWare was basically a ghost. It dodged detection from pretty much every major antivirus program out there, including Windows Defender. And this is the stat that truly changes the game. Zero. Not one single line of the core malicious code was actually written by a person. This wasn't a human coder getting a little help from AI. This was an AI-executed project from start to finish. All right, so we know what it is. Now let's look at how it actually works. This is the ruthlessly efficient attack sequence that XenWare kicks off the second it gets onto a system. It's a clean, four-step process. First, it wakes up, grabs info about its victim, like the computer's name and location, and gives them a unique ID. Second, it scans absolutely everything it can get its hands on: hard drives, network drives, even USB sticks. It queues up all the files to be encrypted, but it's smart enough to avoid critical system files so it doesn't crash the computer. Third, the main event. It locks every single file and then securely deletes the original. And finally, it phones home, sending a little notification to its operator on Telegram to say, hey, job's done. Now, if you want to understand why getting your files back is almost impossible, you've got to understand how it encrypts them. The easiest way to think about it is like a series of bank vaults, one inside the other. So here's that two-layer system in action. For every single file on your computer, XenWare creates a unique AES-256 key. Think of that like the key to a single personal diary. Then it takes all of those thousands of individual diary keys and locks them all together inside a master vault. And that vault is secured with a much, much stronger RSA-4096 key. So to get your files back, you don't just need one key, you need the master key to the vault that's holding all the other keys. Which, of course, brings us to the biggest question of all. How in the world did an AI actually build this thing? Let's take a look at the ghost in the machine. The developer who uses the handle Xantharox said this, and it's a pretty chilling statement. They claimed that after hours and hours of just prompting the AI and tweaking the requests, the AI did everything. They didn't write the code. They just directed the coder. So this is a really crucial point. The human's role has shifted from being an engineer to being more like a project manager. Their job was just to give the AI the right instructions, and then once the AI spit out all the different parts, they just had to put them together. And that's critical because it massively lowers the barrier to entry. This goes from being a really complex coding challenge to just a management task. And the process for putting it all together? It's alarmingly simple. You just drop the files the AI gave you into a folder, you run a script, you copy and paste the output into the main file, and then you compile it. You don't need to be a coding genius to do this. It's a simple, repeatable set of instructions. So all of this leads to maybe the most important part of this whole story. What happens now? Because with XenWare, it feels like Pandora's box is officially open. Okay, first, the good news. This specific threat, XenWare itself, is pretty much neutralized. The code is out in the open now, which means security companies have torn it apart, analyzed it, and can now easily detect and block it. But the real danger was never just about this one piece of software. XenWare was a proof of concept. It proved that AI can absolutely be used as a tool to create brand new, effective, and previously undetectable cyber weapons. And maybe most importantly, it showed that this can be done by people with minimal coding skills, lowering the bar from elite hackers to basically anyone who's good at telling an AI what to do. And that leaves us right here. We have crossed a threshold. The question is no longer if this is going to happen again. It will. The real question that security experts all over the globe are struggling with right now is, what is the next one going to look like?